would. That's why I would like for you to just think about what you say before you say it, because they moved a lot of needles. I just need you to understand.
I do understand, and I'm very appreciative of the people who came before us and died. They died in order for us to do this, right? They died. The people risked their lives in order for us to do this. Remember, like Freedom School, it was even white people that died for this type of freedom and liberty. So what I'm saying is something has to happen in order for a change on that scale. Like you said, history repeats itself, right? And the things that our people fought for, are you aware that right now, as we speak, a lot of those things that they died for are being undone? Are you aware that our freedom of speech is in jeopardy right now, as we speak? You do know that, right?
Because of the guys you're a fan of. So Jess, I think this is the issue and the difficulty, right? It's like, yeah, you have these historical moments, but your connection between them needs to be clearer, because you're jumping significant historical time. You started with the Civil Rights Movement, then you went to slavery, then you went to the Gullah Wars, which were the 18th century and ended like before the Civil War. Like the historical timeline needs to be a little more cogent. I get your point, though, and I think what culturally was trying to emphasize is that, yes, history repeats itself, but that doesn't mean that it's always the same, right? You may have the same event. For example, if we are struggling now with this issue of free speech suppression, there have been other monumental times in American history, like the Red Scare, the McCarthy era, where people were penalized for their speech. People lost their jobs. Companies went bankrupt, right? Because the government was on a quest to root out communism. And so everything someone said or did, or meeting they went to, a friend they had who may have slightly smelled like a communist, people were punished for that, right? So now the issue isn't communism, it's something else. Now the economic conditions are different, but people are still losing their jobs. So it is the sentiment or the policy return or the practice return. It's not always a literal one-to-one. So yes, we have progressed significantly over time, but because we are living in a democracy, we will return and revisit certain circumstances or situations as the population grows, as economic conditions change, as culture change. We have to revisit these things for the new people. But the fight or the commitment to the idea, to the ideal, or to the principle can't change. If you are for like life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, you have to be for that all the time. How you fight for it, it's gonna look different, but that's still the same principle. Yes. So hopefully that makes sense.
Just, I think the reason why I wanted to understand who you were first before I gave an opinion about how you were exploring your ideas is because I wanted to understand the type of person you were and what your worldview is. I think anybody that would lecture you that you're not doing it right, that you're seeking for information, it's not the right way to do it, but there are gaps in your logic and reasoning, is somebody that would indoctrinate you into their belief system. I think you're approaching these questions.
You're annoying. I think you're approaching anyone. That is a process of scientific reasoning. That is not telling people what to think. You're an imbecile.
Your approach to information was exploratory. I think you were asking just questions, and it was a very respectful back and forth, and it's the way you should engage in the exploration of your ideas and understanding the frontier of what you're studying.
It's not a frontier. It's a landscape, sir.